I don't really like the low IQ drama, politics, conspiracy theories. It's just not, it doesn't stimulate me. But you know what does stimulate me is when the military, the government, puts out a new physics, science agenda. In this case, it's something called the Genesis mission. And rather than actually explain it myself, let me just go ahead and show you guys firsthand what the Genesis mission looks like. Here you go. This was just announced like yesterday.
In every age, humanity invents new ways to see further. The telescope let us glimpse the stars. The microscope revealed the worlds within us. For centuries, thinkers like Leibniz, Shannon, and Turing dreamed of making all knowledge computable. But today, knowledge grows faster than our ability to understand it. Trillions of data points, a universe of information still unconnected.
Yeah, okay, so we're already like 30 seconds into this, and we've heard literally nothing so far. I can already tell this is some propaganda bullshit, just right off the bat. That doesn't mean there's nothing to it. Just because they add a bunch of fanfare propaganda doesn't mean there's nothing to it. We should be looking to read between the lines here. But so far, they've told me literally nothing about the Genesis project. It sounds like this looks like something I would see on like a bad movie. Like a bad movie, like the villain, like mogul company, like puts this out, right?
Now, a new instrument emerges. One capable not only of observing the universe, but of understanding it. Genesis mission will transform how science is done in America, uniting our brightest minds, most powerful computers, and vast scientific data into one living system for discovery. Built on artificial intelligence and quantum computing, it will radically redefine the scale, speed, and purpose of scientific progress in America. This is the work that will define our generation's legacy. A new revolution begins, one guided not by competition alone, but by curiosity, imagination, and the belief that discovery is the truest form of progress.
Okay. It's like a pharmaceutical. It's like Quantum Sarah. It's a suppository. You put it in your anus, and then it gives you technologies. Okay. I actually think we literally just are too stupid. I think we're just so stupid that they're like, hey, guys, it actually doesn't even matter what we actually do. Just put out a bunch of propaganda bullshit that just like doesn't really mean anything, and people will just eat it up. And it feels like that's what we're watching right there. It's like, but actually, I do think they're doing something significant. Like what I think is really going on there is disclosure. Sad it is to say, what we just saw there is disclosure. And you may say, well, why is that disclosure, Ashton? Because you have to look at it from the big picture. How did they figure out plasma balls, gravity manipulation? Well, AI would have rapidly expanded that growth, rapidly accelerated that trajectory of technology. Once your AI gets online and you're feeding it the scientific papers, it's just spitting out the answers for you, assuming you know what you're looking for. A lot of people ask, like, Ashton, how do you know what the truth is? Well, once you know what you're looking for, it's actually really easy. It's really easy once you know what you're looking for. Once you realize there's a unification of electromagnetism and relativity, general relativity, then it's pretty easy to tell when people are legit or not. So once your AI knows what's legit, I mean, you can feed it all the scientific papers that I talk about, and it will give you back the answers. I know that for a fact because people send me the answers. They go, hey, Ashton, I was feeding AI your stuff, and it's like, here, it gave me the secrets of the universe. Happens like every single week, basically. So I think that what's going on here is that the government knows that quantum computers are going to do this because it's already happened in the black world. And this is their way of getting that information to the front. So, well, everybody, all the normie people are going to look at this and go, oh, wow, Quantum computers figured out the secrets of the universe. How amazing is that? Quantum computers are the best, you guys. They're the best. And everybody's going to ignore the fact that the military already figured it out. That the only reason why we even have AI is because the military already figured that out. So the only reason why we even have AI today. So this is them basically saying like, hey guys, we have been lying to you, but this is our way of disseminating that information in a way that is not harmful to us. That's what this felt like when I first watched this video. Here you guys go. For the stupid normies that have no idea that we're lying to you, here you go. This will figure out the physics that we've secretly been hiding, but we're going to pretend like this just figured it out for the first time. So go ahead, bookmark this down, guys. Bookmark this down because I think I'm calling it here. Is that they're gonna pretend like this made some major breakthroughs. Oh, guys, the unification theory has been figured out. Unification theory has been figured out. And then they're gonna say, oh, the AI just figured it out. AI solved it. That's what it feels like to me. Going back to Thanksgiving real quick. Here's a quick tip. I posted this on my social media. This is a tip for you guys. I discovered this in Thanksgiving. This is a true story, by the way. All of a sudden, my family members brought up Dan Brown. Dan Brown, the author. And I'm like, ooh, wait a minute. I was like, wait a minute. I can Psy-Op some people right now. And it worked so well, I had to share this method with the world. So my relatively normie followers, they know Dan Brown. They know the Da Vinci Code. Everybody knows the Da Vinci Code. It was a famous book before it became a famous movie. And I said, oh, did you know there's this guy named Hal Puthoff in the new Dan Brown book? First, they brought up Dan Brown, right? And I said, and they were talking about how they love his books and his writing because the stuff he talks about is like based on real stuff, based on real history, based on real science, based on real physics. So they bring him up and I say, oh, that's crazy. Did you know there's this guy, Hal Puthoff, in the new Dan Brown? And they go, whoa, there's a new Dan Brown. Who's Hal Puthoff? Who's this Hal Puthoff you talk about? And then this is where you go. Next step in the Psy-Op, guys. The next thing you say is, oh, Hal Puthoff was on with Joe Rogan. You name drop Joe Rogan next. Why? Because regardless of the political spectrum of your family members, they will know that Joe Rogan is like the podcaster that people talk to. If they were on Joe Rogan, there's an aura of credibility associated to them. And then from there, you say, Hal Puthoff was this guy that he did this psychic stuff before, but then he moved into 0-point energy, which is totally real. 0-point energy is totally real. And you say, when he was on Joe Rogan, he talked about these secret classified scientific papers. You really got to build it up. I mean, they are secret and they were classified, but you got to really sell it to the normies. Secret classified military scientific papers, 38 of them. They're called the DIRDs, the Defense Intelligence Revenue. Always use the acronym, chat. Always use the acronym. It really drives the point home. That's why the government uses them. It sounds official as shit. Don't say Defense Intelligence Reference Job. Just say the DIRDs. And they'll go, what are the DIRDs? What are those? And now you have successfully Psy-Op'd them, chat. Now, instead of just sounding like a complete lunatic, going straight to aneutronic fusion propulsion, now you've worked them into it. Now you've worked them into the DIRDs, the secret scientific papers. And now you can freely go full tism on warp drives, wormholes, quantum energy extraction, negative energy propulsion, air breathing magnetohydrodynamics. You can really razzle dazzle them at this point. Wormholes, warp drives, everything is in those DIRDs. Super high powered free electron lasers, which are going to become relevant here in a moment. Going to become relevant. And then you can just geek out. You can geek out and they won't even think you're schizo anymore. They won't even think you're schizo. So that is just a quick tip for you guys during this holiday season, because people constantly ask me, how do you talk to your family's members about this without them thinking that you've gone full Candace Owens, right? It's a challenge. We all face it.